Hello. So, they just launched the Great Storm again a couple hours ago. Great Storm is probably the best of the regular rotating events because it is a pet event, and pets are just generally some of your best bang for buck when it comes to developing your heroes. The Great Storm, commanding the forces of nature, the evil leader of the Chaos Hordes, has summoned the Great Storm that leaves nothing in its wake. What's her true purpose? No one knows that yet, but the storm is coming. Behold its power. So you have your login every day. Let's get you 5 AP every day. Continuous battle. So there's 53 positions on the board. If you take all 53 positions, you'll get all these quests. Generally, I recommend going for 45 because that's enough to get enough storm resistance and beat the boss. Then you can save some action points. If you VIP 7, you'll also get an additional 7 action points. You can spend some energy. Most of these are pretty easy, like 3,500, 5,000 energy. You can get quite a few, just by going to so it looks like about 6 if you go to 5,000, 5 if you go to 3,500 energy. You can go all the way, but you get diminishing returns on the action points. So going 35, 5,000 energy is pretty good way to get a bunch of action points for not too much investments. You have buy emeralds. So if you buy any other emeralds, you'll get extra emeralds. Plus, if you buy a lot of emeralds, you get some coins. So pretty much, it's like all the other buy emeralds, like a 3x essentially becomes like a 4x, etc. So, pet summoning. So if you have pet eggs, that's why I always tell you to keep at least 80 pet eggs. Like you see this, I do this on my other account. Well, I'll always keep a few pet eggs. That's for the Great Storm. Always keep at least 80. So you can do these quests when the Great Storm pops up. Sweet. I think I need to do one more. Oh, we were off by one. Miscounted. Should have taken note of what I had at the beginning. Alright, so there's all those. So those quests are done. Spending emeralds. So if you spend emeralds, you can get a bunch more action points. But note, there are a lot of these, like the other ones. You can spend 3,000 emeralds, get 3 action points. But if you spend 7,000 emeralds, you only get 4,000 action points. So generally recommend getting the 500 emeralds because that will get you 2 more action points for just 500 emeralds. And 3,000, if you're just doing your dailies, doing the energy and stuff, you'll probably get to 3,000 just by playing the game normally. Open 12 chests in the Sanctuary. Pretty easy if you're doing all your adventures. I've done adventures for the day on this one, but that's pretty easy. So you also have bundles, if you want some more coins, you can buy these bundles with some coins in it. You also get some emeralds. I've never bought any of these bundles. I've had some guildmates. I mean, if you've, said, they're not too bad because you do get a lot of coins and you can trade these coins for pet soul chests. It doesn't look like any of my guildmates bought a bundle, which is fine. And then, of course, there's a story. If you've never seen my playthrough this, I've played through this event many times before. You can find multiple videos on the channel about it where I've played through it. I've done several live streams playing through it. And I read the stories in those. But I'm not going to read it in this video. But this kind of tell you who Xe'sha is, and like I said, who's kind of the main villain of the game. If you don't know about Xe'sha, Xe'sha is the main villain of the game. And she's always here for the Great Storm. So as you, said, generally the main strategies you want to kind of go in a circle. You either go clockwise or counterclockwise. You'll start with one of these two. And generally you want to kind of go around and then once you get to all the outer rings done, you want to hit this one here. So if you start at number 3, you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. You kind of have to zigzag so you don't miss any. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like that. You can also buy, you start with 5 action points. You can also buy action points. They are 500 apiece. Most people, if you aren't spending emeralds anywhere else, you probably want to spend at least the 500 because that'll get you 1 action point. But as I said earlier, that gets you 2 more here. So that is 8 action points. Like I said, so that gets you 3 extra action points about 500 emeralds. You definitely should spend at least 500 on this event. Doing all the energy quests and stuff to get enough, usually I try to get to about 52-ish action points. That's enough to clear the board with, or not even 50 action points. I don't even think I'd get that many. 50 action points is usually enough, because you'll get 1, 2, 3. So there's 45 squares, so you have 3 that are buffs, which you'll probably want to take. So 45 squares plus 3 buffs. It's 48, but I usually have to have 2 hits for boss. So take about 50 action points if you want to go to, where's the one quest line? This one here, continuous battles. So you need like, so you'll probably need about 50 action points to get this one. But generally what I would recommend, because you can go get 220 storm resistance. You get like, because every time you beat one of these scenes, you get storm resistance. And storm resistance, you see how this has 15 Force of the Storm? So it says your heroes lose 1.5% of their max health and pure damage. Once per second, enemies take 13 damage less. So if you have too much Force of the Storm, it's really hard to win. So the boss has 250 Force of the Storm. You can see the number, see 210. The boss has 250. You don't see it here, but it shows it here if you click on it. So there's 250, so that's a lot. Clearing 44 nodes up to that point gets you 220 Force of the Storm, so that'll have a 30 Force of the Storm left that's not mitigated, which means you'll take 3%, which is about kind of like where, like the limit of where it starts to become like harder. If you have Force of the Storm much higher than it starts, it's kind of hard to beat it. So I always thought 45 was a really good target number here. You get 44 nodes and get 45 for the boss. Doesn't look like there's anything else to talk about. I've done many videos on this. If you want to like see me do like a full playthrough, I recommend checking out the video below. Thanks for watching.